So I was talking about this particular scenario where we have fetched the data from the cursor and put it into two variables. So this is convenient if we have small number of variables, but we have if we have 10 or 20 or 30 number of columns in a particular row, then this way of fetching the data is not convenient because you have to mention all the variable name in this particular statement. So then it will be better if you can fetch the data into some data structure that is of like array that represent one full row. So in PLSQL we have a data structure. That data structure is called record. So record is a data structure in PLSQL that is available in PLSQL, which is representing the one row. So each one row can be stored into a one record. So we can fetch the row. Instead of we can fetch the data into a variable, instead of that we can fetch the data into a record, and we can access the record in our loops. So the syntax is again very much easy. The syntax is cursor, this is a keyword, and this is the name of the cursor. Is again keyword. This is a query that returns some data. So here the query is select employee ID and last name. So we have two variables. We are getting the data from the two columns from employee where department ID is 30, and this record will consist, this row will consist of only two values, as you can see from this particular query. So we have a row that contain only two columns. So we can store this row into a record variable. For that we need to create a record. We have to declare a record variable first. So I can create a record variable by just giving a name. So I can giving a variable name employee record, because it is going to store the rows of this particular query, result of this particular query. Then what will be the data type of this particular record? The data type of this record will be same as that of the data type of row of a cursor. So this is name of the cursor, this is same cursor, and whatever the data type of a row of this particular cursor, same data type will be transferred to this particular variable in this particular row. For example, if employee ID is of integer type and name is of character type, then in this particular record, employee record, again this record will be represented by two values. The first will be of integer type and second will be of character type. So the same data type, due to this particular statement percentage row type, so it will tell the system that the data type of this record will be same as that of the row of the cursor of employee whose name is employee cursor. So this way you can transfer the data type of any field from the cursor to the record. So after that, then you have to open the cursor. Then instead of writing all the variable name, now you have to write only the name of the record. So you will write fetch employee cursor into employee record. So by default this statement will fetch the first row and put that row into the employee record. The first column will go into the first location, second column will go into the second location automatically. So you can see the difference between the syntax. Here we have write employee number first variable and second variable, but instead of writing the different variable, we can write the name of the variable that represent one record, and from this particular cursor the first row will be fetched and transferred to this particular variable. After that, when again fetch is called, second row will be fetched and transferred to this particular variable. So the process continues until your loop ends, and after that you can discard all the cursor, and you have to close all the cursor and discard all the information. And but before that you can process the data from this particular cursor. We have a special for loop also for if you are using record. So we have a special for loop. The syntax of that special for loop is for record name in cursor name loop set of the statement followed by end loop. So semicolon is at the end of the loop. So the cursor for loop is a shortcut to process the explicit cursor. We cannot use this loop for implicit cursor, but for the explicit cursor we can use this loop. All the kind of open, fetch, exit and close, all these kind of statement will be executed automatically in the for loop, and the record is implicitly declared in this case. So this is example of this for loop. uh, Cursor, employee cursor is select employee ID last name from employee where department ID is 30. Then I have declared a employee record whose data type will be of the row as same as that of the row type from the employee cursor, and then begin for employee record in employee cursor. Now you can notice that I haven't used any open cursor command here, so there is no need, because in the previous slide I have already mentioned that open, fetch, exit, close, everything will be done in the for loop. So for employee record in employee cursor, so it will automatically fetch the first record from the employee cursor, put it into the employee record, and in the loop I am just displaying whatever in the record at the on the monitor. And how to fetch the data from the employee record, because employee record is a just kind of structure in C language, so you can use the dot notation to access the data. So employee record dot employee ID. Now what is employee ID? It is same name that you have used in your select statement. So employee record dot employee ID will print the first value, employee record dot last name will print the second value. So you can access the data from the record using the name of the record, dot notation, followed by name of the variable that you have used in a SQL statement. So when the next iteration goes again, automatically next row will be fetched into the employee record, and that information will be displayed on the monitor, and loop goes on until the last row will be fetched from the employee cursor, and after that the loop will be terminated automatically. So this is how you can use a for loop to loop through the data that is returned by the cursor from the database. Then we have some attribute, cursor attribute, that can be very useful while doing the programming. So some of these attributes are, for example, percentage is open. So this is a attribute that returns boolean value. Boolean value means it will return either true or false, and it evaluates to true if the cursor is open. If cursor is not open, then this value will return false. So it can be used to find out whether a particular cursor is open or not before fetching the data from that particular cursor. Then we have not found a percentage not found variable, that is again a boolean type that evaluates to true if the most recent fetch does not return any row. So when you have fetched the last row and after that you try to fetch the data from the cursor, then this variable will become true, otherwise by default it will become false. Then found, again another variable, a boolean type variable, evaluates to true if the most recent fetch returns a row. Complement of not found, so it is a opposite of not found, percentage found, which is a complement of not found. So then next is row count. Row count is a number type of variable that will return a number instead of a boolean variable, and it return the total number of rows that are returned so far. So for example, if I want to print only top 5 rows from the result, then I can use the row count variable to find out how many rows are there, how many rows have get printed. So these are not the exhaustive list. There are more these kind of variables. You can refer the documentation where documentation of PLSQL, where you can find more these kind of variables and you can use them according to your requirement. So this is one of the example how is open will be used. So fetch rows only when the cursor is open. If you are trying to fetch the rows, if the cursor is not open, then there will be a exception. There will be an exception, and your program will terminate. So in order to avoid that kind of situation, before fetching the rows from any cursor, you should check whether the cursor is open or not. So is percentage is open is a attribute that can be used for performing such kind of check. So I can write the statement like this: if not employee cursor percentage is open. So every variable will be used with the name of the cursor. So first you have to write down the name of the cursor, followed by percentage, then followed by the attribute. So uh, employee cursor percentage is open will tell us whether the employee cursor is open or not. So if it is not open, then we have to open it. So if it is open, then it will return a true value. True value with not operator becomes false value. If it is already open, then we will not open it again. But if it is not open, is open will return false, and not false means true. So this condition will become true, and it will open the cursor. If the cursor is open, only then the fetch operation will be executed. So you can perform these kind of check using this particular attribute. Similarly, row count and not found. So this is the example of how to use row count and how to use not found variable. First of all, I have declared employee number, employee name, two variables whose data type will be from employees table, and the column name will be employee ID and employees table last name. Then I am declaring a cursor. Cursor name is employee cursor is. This is a SQL statement. Select employee ID last name from employees. Begin, open the cursor. First of all, I have to open the cursor. Then loop fetch employee cursor into employee name, employee number and employee name. So this will fetch the first row and put the data into two variables, employee number and employee rows, employee name. Then before printing that data, I can check, I can perform this kind of check: exit. I will break the loop if my condition satisfy. Exit when employee cursor percentage row count is more than 10. That means I just want to print top 9 values. As soon as my cursor count goes to, my row count goes to 10, this loop will be terminated due to this condition. Or the second condition is employee cursor percentage not found. So any of these condition, any of these two conditions when get true, then my loop will be terminated. So you can see, you can check the number of rows that are being executed, and you can also use not found. uh, this means, suppose my this query will return only 3 rows. So if it return only 3 rows, then the count will never go up to 10. So your condition should also consider this particular factor. And so that's why I have declared two condition. First condition, I am checking that row count should not be more than 10. Or second condition is the loop will also terminate if there is no more rows. So if there is no more rows, that can be find out with the help of not found variable. So if employee cursor percentage not found, then this loop will be terminated. And if none of these two conditions satisfied, then whatever the values that are read into employee number and employee name, that will be printed on the monitor. So this loop will continue in this way. So this is how you can use the variable. So there are more such kind of variable that you can find out from the documentation of PLSQL, and you can use those variable in your program. So these are very helpful variable, and they are associated with the cursor. So whenever you have to use the variable, you have to give the name of the cursor, then followed by this particular variable. These are the special variable whose recognition is with the help of percentage symbol. So all these variables starts with percentage symbol. uh, then you can also declare a cursor with the parameter. So cursor with parameter is similar to the method with the parameter. Whenever you create the function, you can pass some values, you can pass some parameters, you can pass some arguments to the function. As you can pass the argument to the function, in the similar way, cursor can also accept the parameters or the argument from the outer world, and it can perform the action according to those parameters. So this is a way of communication between the cursor and the outer program. So other program can pass the data to the cursor, and cursor can return the data to other program. So this means this is again very simple. So cursor name followed by cursor name followed by the list of the parameter, again because it is in the square bracket. This means this list is an optional part. So cursor name, you can write it or you can omit it. Rest of the statement will remain same. So you can pass the parameter value to a cursor when the cursor is opened and the query is executed. Then open an explicit cursor several times with the different values, and each time you will get the different set of you will get the different set of results. So this is you can create your cursor dynamic. This means in the previous case, whenever you execute the cursor, the same result will be returned. But in this case, you can change the result according to the parameter, whatever the values you can pass from the outer side. So how to pass the value? You can use the open statement. So whenever you use the open statement to open a cursor, that cursor name will be will be passed along with the parameter values in the parentheses. So this is very simple syntax. Now let me show you one example. Suppose this is my example cursor. I am creating a cursor, employee cursor, department number whose data type will be number, is select employee ID last name from employee, where department ID is equal to department number, and department ID, data type of department ID is number, and last name is my varchar. So this is the different variables. Now whenever I declare a cursor, now this is what, this is the value of parameter. So this is a parameter. I am passing the parameter. The name of parameter is department number and data type of parameter is number. So I will pass some number from the outer world, from the outer program, and that number will be used in the query to fetch the data from the employees corresponding to that department. Now, now see how this can help us in fetching the data from the different departments. So if I like, I write the statement like this: open employee cursor 10. So 10 will be passed to this particular variable. From here it will pass to here. So this means now my query becomes select employee ID last name from employee, where department ID is equal to 10. So that means all the employees of 10 number department will be retrieved by this particular cursor. After processing all that data, I will close the cursor, and again I can again open the cursor with now value 20. That means now 20 value will be passed to the department number, and 20 value will be used to for fetching the data. That means all the employee ID and last name of that department will be returned, whose ID is 20. So this way you can dynamically fetch the data from the different for the different queries, different kind of queries. So this is possible only if you create the cursor using the parameters. So this is very helpful. With the help of this kind of cursor, you can create the dynamic queries that will return the different values according to the values passed to the cursor. So this is how it all works.